Welcome to Cineights, where you get to know the best movies and series. Today's video is about top 10 best Hollywood movies of all time. Be sure to watch until the end. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video. The Shawshank Redemption, 1994. We won't be surprised if your favorite movie of all time is The Shawshank Redemption. The story of Andy Dufresne and his fight for survival inside Shawshank Prison is so damn good. You can easily watch this film repeatedly and never get sick of it. What makes The Shawshank Redemption so great? Well, for starters, the acting is incredible. Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins deliver stunning performances, and the screenplay is brilliant. But what sets Shawshank apart from other movies is the sense of hope that it inspires. No matter how bad things seem, there's always a chance for redemption, and that's a beautiful message that never gets old. The Godfather, 1972. The Godfather is a masterpiece. There's a reason why it's considered one of the greatest movies of all time. The Godfather, 1972. The Godfather is a masterpiece. There's a reason why it's considered one of the greatest movies of all time. It's got everything you could want in a movie: violence, romance, drama, and an all-star cast that includes Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, and Robert De Niro. To this day, The Godfather remains one of the most iconic movies in Hollywood history. The plot is so intricate and well-crafted that you can watch it repeatedly and still find something new to appreciate. What are you waiting for if you haven't seen The Godfather yet? Titanic, 1997. You know, Titanic is an exciting movie when you think about it. It was released in 1997 and was the highest-grossing movie of all time until Avatar came along in 2009. What's impressive about Titanic is the way it was made. They built a full-size replica of the Titanic and filmed it sinking into the water. That took a lot of guts awards, including Best Picture and Best Director. No wonder it's still considered one of the best movies ever made. Titanic is one of the best romantic Hollywood movies of all time. Avatar, 2009. You can't leave Avatar off the list of the best Hollywood movies of all time. Released in 2009, this visually stunning movie quickly became a blockbuster hit and is now considered one of the most successful films ever made. What makes Avatar so unique? The groundbreaking visual effects, for starters. But it's also the story. A gripping tale of love and war set against the spectacular backdrop of a far-off world. And then there's the cast, including Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, and Sigourney Weaver, who all give powerful performances. If you're looking for an unforgettable movie-going experience, then make sure to check out Avatar. It's one of those rare films that's both entertaining and thought-provoking, and it's sure to leave you feeling impressed. The Dark Knight, 2008. This iconic film is a masterpiece, plain and simple. What makes The Dark Knight so unique? Well, for one thing, the acting is phenomenal. Christian Bale gives an incredible performance as Batman, and Heath Ledger's portrayal of the Joker is chilling. But it's more than just the acting. The Dark Knight is a well-made film from start to finish, with some truly spectacular action sequences. And it's also surprisingly deep for a comic book movie, delving into topics like the nature of evil and the thin line between justice and revenge. If you haven't seen this masterpiece, then you need to watch it right now. It's one of those rare movies that are truly unforgettable. Inception, 2010. Inception is a 2010 Hollywood movie written, produced, and directed by Christopher Nolan. It's been hailed as one of the best movies of all time and was nominated for 8 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director. The cast includes Leonardo DiCaprio, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Ellen Page, Tom Hardy, and Cillian Murphy. The story centers around Dom Cobb, a professional thief who specializes in infiltrating people's dreams. The movie is a masterpiece of mind-bending visual effects and action sequences and is worth watching if you haven't seen it already. Avengers Endgame, 2019. You've probably seen Avengers Endgame by now. It's the latest installment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's been breaking all sorts of box office records. Critics and fans call it one of the best superhero movies ever made, and it's not hard to see why. If you're a fan of Marvel movies, then you need to see Avengers Endgame. It's one of those rare iconic movies that lives up to the hype. The action is epic, the plot is thrilling, and the characters are unforgettable. Psycho, 1960. Psycho is, without a doubt, the tone of the greatest Hollywood movies of all time. Directed by Alfred Hitchcock, the film is a masterpiece of suspense and terror and is still considered one of the most influential movies ever made. If you're a fan of horror movies, then you need to see Psycho. The plot is twisted and dark, and the acting is top-notch. Plus, the climax is unforgettable. If you're looking for a film that will keep you on the edge of your seat, then Psycho is definitely worth watching. Say 7N, 1995. You know a movie is good when it's still talked about more than 20 years after its release. Say 7N is one of those movies. It tells the story of 2 detectives hunting for a serial killer using the 7 deadly sins as his MO. But what makes it so good? Well, for starters, the acting is superb. The movie is tense, thrilling, and downright horrifying in parts. Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman are perfect in their roles, and the twists and turns will keep you glued to your seat until the end. Say 7N is one of those rare movies that's just as good on a second viewing as it is on the first. If you haven't seen it yet, put it at the top of your list, you won't regret it. The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King 2003. You're probably wondering why The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King is on this list. It's a great movie, don't get us wrong, but it's not as classic as some of the others. Well, there are a few reasons. For one, it won 11 Academy Awards, more than any other movie in history. And for another, it's just an incredibly well done movie. The attention to detail is astonishing, the acting is top-notch, and the plot is gripping from beginning to end. If you haven't seen it yet, we highly recommend watching it.